All right, we got our Skidoo Blizzard 9500 mod sled. We're going to be going through the carburetors, getting them rejetted, getting this thing tuned up and running today. So this thing's got a track and a skid out of an MXZ. Tunnel's extended. Front end's been widened. Let me go ahead and open her up. Got a set of Decker pipes. Disc brake's been added. Got some 44 mil Mikunis. And a little bit of engine work done on it. Comet clutch. Alright, we got them synced up now. Let's see if we can get a good view. You can see now they're both moving at the exact same time. And we also have to make sure at full throttle the slides are clearing, fully clearing out of the bore of that carburetor. See that? So we maximize full throttle. All right, one step. And the next thing we got to do is we got to get our idle screws synced. So, I mean, I can thread them in the same, but sometimes I've found they're not exactly identical. So the best thing to do is use something as a depth gauge for that slide, something you can put underneath it and adjust the clearing at the bottom of that slide cutaway. And so, common trick everyone's used for years is drill bit. You know, something you know the size of, and you're just gonna place the drill bit in there, and then lift the slide up, place it down on the drill bit, and then adjust your idle screw in till it just touches that slide, and then do that on both sides, and then you have both slides with the exact same gap, and then we'll check and see where the idle screws are. They'll probably be off just a little bit, but our gaps will be synced. I'll show you that when I get it done. Okay, you can see we got both the idles adjusted, so I can just fit that drill bit in. Under that slide. Just fit it in. And then both of our throttle screws ended up being real close. So it worked out for us. So we got them both synced. We got our idle screws synced. Now we're going to pull the carbs off and change out the pilot jets. All right, got the carb pulled apart, cleaned it. These were new carbs, but they've been sitting for years, so weren't bad at all. But pilot jet is a 30, which is going to be way too small. I looked it up, and the factory pilot jet for this sled is a 45. And so with our engine work and, you know, the bigger carbs, this thing's going to be thirsty. So I'm probably going to start with a 50. Put a 50 in there and see if we can get it idle. Main jet, a 6. Main jet was a 6. I don't know if I can get it to focus. 630. We're going to focus on the pilot jet right now. Get it running good off idle. And then we'll worry about the main jet and needle. Alright, I'm going to get this back together with a 50 pilot jet. Set the air screw just 1.5 turns out. Do that to both carbs, and then we're going to fire this up. Alright, carbs are back on. We got 50 pilot jets, 1.5 turns out on the air screw. We're going to swap plugs, do a quick compression check, put new plugs in it, then we're going to fire it up. Alright, just checking both the cylinders, really clean. The mag side here looks like it has a spot on the cylinder walls that I don't love the way it looks, but we need to do a compression test. Alright, just check compression on both cylinders. 130. The other side was roughly 125, 127. So it's definitely within a couple % tolerance. So now we're going to throw some plugs in it. We'll fire it up. Alright, got to move down to a 45 on the pilot jet. 50 was a little aggressive. I ended up having to back out the air screw almost to basically 3 turns is where it was running the best. It needed more air for all that fuel. So I'm going to move it to a 45 and then throw them back in. And then we'll pull plugs and check it out. Alright, one more time. I'm going from a 45 to a 40 this time. You know, when I looked up the specs on the OE carb, the forum I was reading said a 45 pilot on the stock 9500. Yeah, not so, I don't know, but we're gonna drop to a 40 now because it's still just it's got too much fuel. I'm having to back the air screw out and give it more air, and so we got to make another large adjustment. All right, back at it in a minute. All right, 40 pilot jet, 1.5 turns out on the air screw, perfect. Plugs looked good. Now I was kind of running through the mid-range. Plugs were looking a little dark. So I was gonna move the needle one notch and throw a new set of plugs in and then see what they look like. So I'm moving the needles right now. Throw another set of plugs in and I'll check in a minute. All right, pilot jets are done, tuned, got the needle, got the mid-range going. Main jets and wide open throttle haven't been really fine-tuned yet till I can get out and run it, but it's running strong. We're gonna go ahead and start it. Make sure the tether's on. right, she's running good. Got to get it out now.